Now, what have they been doing right, and what are these absentees going to mean to this attacking unit?
I think they'll still very much have the patterns of play, Albirex Niigata. They still will have those structures in terms of chance creation, and that's something I've noticed watching Albirex since the Community Shield. Even in that defeat to Tanjung Pagar, they will create opportunities, they will create chances. They know how to pass it through the lines, they know how to get it forward swiftly. They're very good in those transitional moments, as we're seeing here as well. In those counter-attacking moments, they are good at getting the ball forward into those areas. What they've done really well over the last couple of matches is that they create chances, they also finish off those opportunities now. So there's a confidence going through this side in that, you know, yeah, we are creating chances, but we're also finishing them off. So the side will believe, especially for a young side, they will start to believe that, hey, things are going right for us, things are working for us.
They're also a new-look side as well, and they're bedding players in, they're getting accustomed to the conditions here in Singapore, to the physicality, to what it takes for them to get the job done on the pitch. So much was made pre-season about Tadanari Lee, and why not? Of course, a very, very high-profile player, but the player who, of course, has really stepped up in terms of goal scoring is the league's leading goal scorer, and that's Kodai Tanaka, who has come out of nowhere, really, and this is a player just 22 years old. He was a product of the Yokohama Marinos youth system, but he's really blossomed with 6 goals, 4 of them with his head last time we were here at this stadium. But he's up and running, isn't he?
He is. I mean, 6 goals over the last 2 matches, and I think one of the issues that they had with the first game against Tanjung Pagar, he came on and he looked to get himself into really good positions, and he did get himself into good positions, but his finishing was off. He spent the next week in training, working on his finishing, working on that finishing touch, and it seems to have paid off big time for him here. What I love about him is he's got that composure now, but we've seen here he's scoring goals with his feet, but he's also scoring goals with his head, as we saw against Ballister Khalsa. He's the kind of player that gets himself into some really good positions because of the movement in front of him in terms of his midfielders, and he understands when he needs to sort of drop off and link the play, but he also gets into those advanced areas at times. When he's playing with Tadanari Lee, for example, we've seen Tadanari Lee move out into the wider areas. Kodai Tanaka knows that, oh, then it's my turn to occupy central positions and put the ball into the back of the net, and that's exactly what he's been doing.
Well, it's 6 goals and also 1 assist, and the reason I mention that is that he is the kind of guy who's very good news if you're a fantasy football player, and I'm delighted to say that there's an opportunity to play fantasy football around the AIA Singapore Premier League. Make sure you get along to the SPL's website and get involved, because we have the Real Manager game, which has great functionality, great opportunity to play against your friends, to play against anybody who follows this league, and of course to really enjoy the gamification, if you will, of a league that you guys are enjoying so much. So he's the top goal scorer, by the way, and he's going to get you lots of points if he keeps going that way. Let's just quickly turn the attention now to Lion City Sailors, the champions, and what they'd be doing. Do they fear this free-scoring Albirex side? Well, maybe they should, because they haven't looked entirely convincing defensively. They will again, through suspension, shouldn't be missing Pedro, one of their expensive signings who's come in. And so far, a team that only led in 19 goals last season has looked less convincing defensively, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to do with the fact that, you know, I mentioned structures with Albirex, and it doesn't seem like we've got that solidity, the Lion City Sailors. I mean, we'll look at some of the numbers here from Albirex Niigata. 19 goals that they conceded, picked up 46 points, scored 50 goals for. Look, I mean, we touched on Albirex and their strengths in the campaign. We know that they will create opportunities. We know that defensively they are sound. And they create goal-scoring opportunities, as we've seen. But for the Lion City Sailors, I mean, again, it's something that Kim Do-hoon has spoken about, you know, in the build-up to this, saying that they don't quite have their balance just yet. Yeah, we can see that.
He used a phrase that was something like defensive organization, defensive structures. Yeah. That was interesting to me.
That's right. I mean, again, it's been difficult, I guess, at times, because Pedro got himself sent off against Geylang. So you'd expect him to actually be the centre-back, starting centre-back with Haris Harun. They haven't perhaps had that much time in terms of games to develop that relationship in the centre of that defence. So Amirul is coming with Haris. And by the way, they've kept a clean sheet in the last game against Tampines. Just about got away with it. Didn't play well.
I'm not sure how they did that, to be honest with you.
I'm not sure how they did it as well, but came away with 3 points. I mean, this is numbers from the Lion City Sailors.
This is them offensively. What's interesting to me is there's only 4 goals from these 38 shots. I think you can look at stats, and they just tell you one part of the story.
Yes.
What we've seen with our eyes is a lack of fluency, particularly through midfield. The transition, the development. Why has that not been good?
Again, when you look at their phases of play. When they want to try and link the play in those attacking areas, at times what's been difficult, what's been tough for them especially is Kim Shin-wook and his presence. He's a very different sort of player to what they had last season with Stipe Plazibat, who was not only scoring goals, but he was creating chances as well, picking up assists as well. So he was very much a different sort of forward. He was almost an all-round
like the Peter
forward.
Crouch syndrome? He joins a club and suddenly everyone starts knocking the ball long?
Well, the system has to be suited to him. If you're going to sign a number 9, a big star player, as your striker, as a person that's expected to deliver and get the goals, then you need to make sure that he gets the service. You need to make sure that your style and structure of play suits him. Whether he matches what they've got at Lion City Sailors at the moment remains to be seen. Whether he needs a little bit more time, Kim Do-hoon, to work him into the team, again, that's something that we can only tell as the weeks go by. But at the moment, it doesn't look like he quite fits in with what they're trying to do right now. And the thing is, it's very difficult to have any sort of sympathy for the Lion City Sailors because of the strength that they had compared to the rest of the teams in the league.
All right, let's deal with it objectively, just in terms of two teams playing against each other tonight. Speaking of those teams, we'll have the lineups for you and some thoughts from the head coaches when we come back.
Zawa, the number 26, he makes his first start of the season. Fairoz Hassan having to come in and lead the line. He normally plays a role off the bench later on in matches, but he has to lead the line here alongside Kodai Tanaka. Nicky Melvin Singh, I expect, will be pushed out onto the left-hand side. They still have the quality in those central positions with Kumpei Kakuta and Kan Kobayashi to try and dictate the tempo of the game and create chances for the likes of Tanaka up front.
Yeah, they're a side that has plenty of players that are very easy on the eye when it comes to getting the ball forward. You do feel that this is going to be massively disrupted. And for the head coach, Kazuaki Yoshinaga, well, COVID has been a factor for every team in this league so far this season. We've seen absentees, Lion City Sailors have suffered from them, but this is a major disruption for him, isn't it?
This is a major disruption, and it is something that teams in the league have got to deal with this season. We saw it happen to Tanjung Pagar United on match day 1 up against Albirex. They had a whole week of training that was disrupted due to COVID cases in the team, and it's happened to Albirex as well, something that they learned to deal with.
Lion City Sailors have got a couple of players who are trying to find their way back, having been out. Tajali is one of those players, Faris Ramley another one through COVID. Tajali is in the starting lineup. I spoke to him earlier. He said he's just going to have to see how he goes. He's suffered a little bit in training. He's found it a little bit hard to recover. But as far as this lineup is concerned, another start for Diego Lopez, which is significant for them. But look at the top of that team.
Yeah, Amiruddin Ashraf getting another opportunity from the start here. He started a match against Geylang, didn't quite perform as well as I think he would have liked, but it's good to see him be given an opportunity again. Anaki Ismit, the number 77, who was at Tanjung Pagar last year on loan, he makes his senior debut for the Lion City Sailors, so he'll be given an opportunity. A very powerful young winger with good pace in those wider areas. Tajali coming in for Nakiuddin, who started the last game against Tampines, and look, he was run ragged in the opening 45 of that match. So they do have some cases of their own to deal with, but again, with the squad and with the strength that they have, they really should be capable of putting in the stronger performances than we've seen of them so far.
What do you think will be the last instructions from Coach Kim to them going out onto that pitch?
I really would like Coach Kim to be telling them to be really aggressive from the start and to go at it, because they've been such slow starters in this competition so far. They've actually given opportunities to the opposition to set the tempo. It should be the Lion City Sailors setting the tempo in their matches. So I want to see them be aggressive. I want Coach Kim to say to them, look, they made some changes in their back line. Let's go and attack the young boy who's making his first start.
It's an opportunity. We'll hear from him in just a moment. But before that, as we get to the head coach's thoughts, let's start off with the man who is guiding Albirex Niigata here tonight, Kazuaki Yoshinaga.
You're coming into this match after 2 big wins. How confident are your boys as they take on the formidable Lion City Sailors?
So our philosophy is not change even if the opponent change. So that we will improve ourselves continuously.
The Lion City Sailors are defending champions with very few weaknesses. So have you planned any special tactics for them?
So I don't think there is the team without weakness. So the only team that we can say that is the winner of the World Cup. So I don't think about it.
More fans are now allowed at Singapore Premier League matches. So are you happy to be able to get more supporters in the stands, and how can they make a difference to you?
So it is very happy to know about the many supporters come to the stadium. So I think it is important to develop the fair and the speedy game without the silly strollings.
The Sailors have 2 wins in 3 matches. How happy are you with the way things are going?
Satisfied? No. Happy? No. There's still big room for improvement. There's still a long way to go to bring out what we're doing in training onto the performance on the pitch when we play against the opponent. So it's going to get better, but as long as we continue to stick with the game plan and to just do what we're doing in training, we will have much better result and our performance will get better by game.
This is a very big game. Albirex is a goal-scoring machine. So are you confident your defense will be able to stop their strikers like Kodai Tanaka?
Especially under the football that we want to play, defensive organization is not about individuality. It's about a team organization. So we have focused a lot about our defensive organization as a team as well. And we know that Albirex have better performance ever since the Community Shield that we played against them. So we are prepared. But we're not just concerning on one aspect. Football is a game of many areas. So we just want to be solid in defense, but also to play our football.
Pundits are saying that the Sailors have not been very fluid in building attacks. So do you agree? And if yes, how do you plan to fix the issue?
Obviously, after every match, we evaluate, we analyze the games, and it's not just the building up. It's all aspect of our game that we need to improve, and we're still improving. And I know at the moment, a lot of people outside are saying the performance, this area of our football, that area of our football. But I just want to say that we're still developing, and I just, I told you guys, there's still lots of room for improvement in different aspects of the game as well. So we're just going to continue to work hard. And to be honest, I'll say that it's still the beginning of the season. We're going to get better by game. My boys are going to play better by game as well. So as the game goes by, we're going to have a much better football performance on the pitch as well.
Kim Do-hoon there of Lion City Sailors with his thoughts on a massive opportunity. We were just chatting, Roshan and I, as we were listening to those interviews, and we're both in agreement that the team news tonight has handed LCS a massive opportunity. He'll be joining Shazad for commentary in just a moment, but after the break, their build-up to this game begins, and we'll find out if we're right.
Hello and a very good evening to you from Jurong East Stadium for the AIA Singapore Premier League match this evening. Albirex Niigata versus Lion City Sailors. This is an absolute massive fixture anytime in the SPL. And this pitches the two teams that played against each other just a few weeks ago in the AIA Community Shield. Albirex Niigata, of course, losing out on that one in just the last couple of minutes, thanks to a superb goal from Lion City Sailors' Korean striker, Kim Shin-wook. 2-1 it finished that day. How will it end this time round? I'm here with Rish Roshan Rai, who's just come from his pre-show to give us his thoughts along the way over the next 90 minutes. How do you see this one panning out, Roshan? Are we going to see a nice, exciting game of football? Remember, of course, to remind everyone that since their surprising defeat at the hands of Tanjung Pagar right here at Jurong East Stadium, they have bounced back well. Albirex Niigata scored 11 goals in 2 matches. It's been a different story, hasn't it, for Lion City Sailors since the AIA Community Shield? They've had some very shaky performances and a loss to Geylang International.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think with Albirex, what we've seen from them is there's this nice steady growth since the start of the season. We saw them play a good first half, a really good first half of football against Lion City Sailors in the Community Shield. Faded a little bit in the second half, which is understandable. We know they've spoken about how they've not gotten enough in terms of training time and in terms of practice matches, especially with players coming in late.
Yes.
So we're starting to perhaps see them, have that benefit of having time on the training ground. Yoshinaga has time on the training ground. Players are together now and they can properly work on things. And I thought that they were coming into this as favorites. I actually predicted Albirex would beat Lion City Sailors in this match. But now, with what we've heard in terms of the 2 COVID cases, big ones, Masahiro Sugita and Tadanari Lee, both missing from the starting 11. I think that has an impact on. I think that makes a big impact on their chances here. And Lion City Sailors will perhaps be the side that come into this. They'll look at that lineup. They'll see that Albirex have got a debutant at right back in Matsura and Fukazawa getting his first start. There'll be young players in that back line that Lion City Sailors can go and look to try and attack and perhaps try and exploit those perceived areas of weaknesses.
Talking of fullback issues for Albirex Niigata, there's sort of fullback issues as well for Lion City Sailors. You and I were commentating on that previous game against Tampines Rovers. I have to say that was an extremely eventful and entertaining match just a few days ago at Jalan Besar Stadium, wasn't it? And we saw Nakyudin have a pretty torrid time. He was deputizing, of course, for Tajeli Salama. That's going to change today when we look at the lineup. But what have you made of the way that they've gone about their task, Lion City Sailors? It seems like they need to almost go a goal behind or really put under pressure to get a reaction out of them.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I'm not quite sure why that's been the case for this team. Not starting off games well. It's an interesting one, and it's something that the coaching staff will have to look back at and say, is it something to do with our preparation? Are the guys not quite up for it? Something to do with the warm-ups not quite right? Or the message coming through to the players before kickoff is not quite there? Or does it just come down to the fact that there's a bit of sluggishness in the squad overall? I mean, the way that things have gone for them, yes, they've been picking up results, and ultimately the game is about picking up results, right? But they haven't been convincing at all. They haven't sort of played in a style that I think would be befitting of a side of Lion City Sailors' stature. So I think from their perspective, from their fans' perspective, they'll be hoping that that's something that changes, that as the weeks go by, they'll start to come into a rhythm of these matches and start to find their momentum, start to have that structure and that style of play that suits them. So, I mean, it's been a surprise to me, but as it stands, thankfully for them, they've still somehow been able to just pick up the 3 points. They were hugely fortunate against Tampines Rovers not to lose that game. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure when they look back at it, they'll say, look, we were poor, but we picked up the 3 points, so hopefully that gives them a lift coming into this one.
I think to their credit, they have kind of put their hands up a little bit, that they haven't been necessarily the best. There's been some defiant words as well from Kim Do-hoon, and he's come up with a variety of mitigating reasons. Some cynics might call that excuses for the reason that they haven't performed well. Similar to what you said with Albirex Niigata, players haven't all been together. There have been injuries to key players. We know Maxime Lestien came in late. He hasn't, by the way, started the last game either. He hasn't started much. He doesn't get much game time. Diego Lopez suddenly is becoming a regular, well, as we'll see today, at least for 2 matches. But the onus now, unfortunately, like it or not, Lion City Sailors, every game they go into, all eyes are going to be on this team. All the pressure's on them.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's something that they know. And to be fair to them, I think they know what the expectations are. They know that people will look at them and say, you need to be winning these games. You need to be playing a certain style of football that's attractive, just based purely on the talent that they have in the squad. And I think they'll expect that of themselves as well. Last season, remember, they went all the way, so they showed that fight and that desire not to give up, not to give in, when it looked like at one point, that late draw against Albirex last season, they looked a little bit deflated, but they didn't let it affect them too much. They did what they could do, they controlled what they could, and they eventually ended up winning the title. And these are players who will know that it's not been good enough, performance-wise, it's not been good enough. I'm pretty sure they'll be talking amongst themselves, they'll go into training and they'll look to try and work on things that they can improve on so that the performances get better.
So the 2 teams have made their way out onto the pitch here, by the way. The good news is that just a few days ago, the new rulings came out from the government about fan numbers, and we can now go to 50% of capacity, which means here at Jurong East we can have up to 1,500 more fans, which is basically a 30% increase on what we previously had. And the fans are in good voice, Roshan. It's good to have more fans back in the stadium. I'm so excited about that.
It really is great. It really is great, and it's such a positive step as well. You know, we've been waiting a long time for this, and wonderful. I mean, it's all about getting the fans out into these community stadiums to support their sides, and the fans that have come out have made themselves heard. You know, we're listening to chants coming from the Lion City Sailors fans. We're listening to that coming from the Albirex fans responding as well.
Let's just tell you who's in charge of this one. Mohammad Daki is assisted by Andy Tan and Alson Fu, and Clarence Liao is the man and on the sidelines, a fourth official. I think we must just make it clear, of course, that the last game there were criticisms of the officiating. The Football Association of Singapore very open about it. They've apologized to Tampines Rovers for a goal that was scored by Firdaus Kazman. I think that's, at least that's cleared up. I'm not sure that's going to mean much to them now that they've lost the 3 points, but at least that effort was made, and it's all, at least hopefully a line can be drawn under that.
Yeah, you would hope so. You know, there's acknowledgement of that situation. But here's a look at the starting 11 from Albirex.
So starting with Albirex Niigata, and they've had to make some changes, enforced ones as well, with no Tadanari Lee and Sugita. They are unavailable at the moment due to health issues, and they have been replaced by Faris Hassan, Singaporean, comes in, as well as Matsuura and Fukazawa. Well, Sambongi is on the bench. So 3 changes from the side that thrashed Young Lions. For Lion City Sailors, they also make a lot of changes, 5 of them to be exact. Tajali Salamat comes back into that right back position. Hafiz Noor starts today, as does the striker Amirul Asraf. Adam Swandi gets a start today, as does the youngster Anaki Ismit. We have Kim Shin Wook on the bench, as well as Haikal Pasha. No Song Wee-young is unwell, we hear, and Saifullah and Nakudin have picked up some knocks from the last game. So, plenty to think about for Kazuaki Yoshinaga. Neither side, Roshan, have their full 11. Neither side playing their marquee strikers, who, of course, a lot of people wanted to see, but we're certainly not going to see Tadanari Lee today.
No, we aren't going to see him. We still might see Kim Shin-wook coming on in the second half. It was interesting there. We had a look at the shot of the bench, Kazuaki Yoshinaga, alongside last season's coach, Keiji Shigetomi, who's now been demoted to the assistant's role, and then Kim Do-hoon here. And look, I know he will look at this, and he will look at the fact that the performances haven't been good enough, and he'll feel that pain. You know, let's remember he's obviously a winner, someone who's established himself, who's got a wonderful CV, and that pride will be hurting. You know, I don't think there's any coach out there who is satisfied, completely satisfied, even when their sides win matches. They're always looking for that additional step. What can they work on? What can they improve on? And that's what he would have been working on with this team.
So it is Albirex Niigata to get us underway, and look at that. They're still waiting for everyone to stay behind the line. Just to add some other team news, the centre-back Rio Kunimoto still out for Albirex due to a pre-season injury, and that versatile player Masaya Idetsu has joined him on the sidelines for at least 4 weeks due to a muscle tear. For the Sailors, Pedro Enrique is serving the second of his 2-match suspension. It's great to see Nur Adam Abdullah, by the way, back on the bench after what was a pretty serious injury before. And also good that Tajeli, as I said, is back. Anumantan is also on the bench. Good take there by the keeper, Koga. Faris Rumley is also back on the bench. He's been in and out of the side a lot this season. More out than in. Haris Harun with the header. Looking at Amrullah Asraf, who Roshan is not really nailed down a place in this side. It's not easy when you're a forward in a side like Lion City Sailors, as that sails towards Hassan Sani. Easy one there, nicely done by Haris Harun.
This is already a good start from the Lion City Sailors. I know we're just a minute in, but already the intensity is right up there. We just saw with Amiruldin closing down Keto Haria, and just the opportunity before that, Anaki Ismit going to try and get them forward as Kumpe Kakuta got the ball taken off him.
There's Shadan. The trusty left back Omori. Nice footwork there by Adam Swandi. Here's Diego Lopez, who starts a second match in a row, having not started since September 2021. May count himself a little lucky to have even been in this game, Russian, not because of selection, but perhaps because he could have got a second booking in that last game.
Yeah, I think he got away with it a little bit, but what he did show in that last game, especially in the second half, was the willingness to work incredibly hard on the defensive side of the game. You saw him pressing from the front, committing a few fouls. Never mind that perhaps he should have been shown a second yellow, but he got away with it.
Shadan Sulaiman swinging that in. It's a loose ball. Diego tried to attack it. Gone out for a throw-in on that far side.
Yeah, Shadan, you know, again, he's whipped that one in with pace. Only one real player attacking it, and that was Amiruldin. So they restart, play down this left-hand side. Adam Swandi is looking to just carve out an opening.
Yeah, it's full of verve, isn't he, Adam Swandi? Brings a lot of energy. Came on in the second half last week against Tampines. Now, we recall that AIA Community Shield, which was only last month, and we know how well Albirex Niigata started and how placid, how passive they were, Lion City Sailors, weren't they, in that first half?
There's already a big difference here, isn't there? I mean, just based on the start of this match, you can see they're quicker to want to close down. They're showing that aggression right from the off, and this was what I was hoping they would do. You know, it's so important from that first whistle. If you've been struggling, not really had that performance going your way, to show that you can be aggressive against a side that will be title challengers, and one of your main rivals in the league.
Here's Faris Hassan. Back to Haria. Now Kobayashi looks up. Omori doesn't have his usual partner in front of him. Sugita has been a joy to watch. It's a lovely switch of play. Nicky Singh just making that run. He's now got a bit of space on that byline to try and cut it back. Oh, he's in a good position there, Fairoz. He scuffed it, might have taken a little deflection along the way. It will be a corner.
That's
Two Singaporeans combining well.
That's a great chance, great opportunity, and he should be testing the goalkeeper. I think it's taken a deflection, but Nicky Singh, again, lively down that right-hand side. Makes its way into Fairoz. Doesn't catch it well at all. I mean, he takes up a really good position for the cutback.
Can we put it down to perhaps not much
a bit of rustiness, perhaps, yeah.
Corner here for Albirex. They've got some big guys in there to try and create problems. Fairoz making a run to the near post. Looking to clear their lines, and Hassan comes to gather. Diego had made a run. He's not going to take that option.
You know, I think the battle on the flanks could be really interesting. You know, Albirex like to get forward down the left and right-hand side, and we already seen evidence of that with Nicky Singh and that cutback. Albirex will look for these big diagonal switches when they can at times, just to shift the angle of the attack, the point of play out to the far side, to the free side.
There's the danger man right in front of them, Kodai Tanaka, 6 goals to his name. He's the hot shot right now in the SPL ahead of Tadanari Lee. Here's Lopez. Back by Amarul Adli, who's partnering Haris Harun in the centre of defence in the absence of Pedro. Switch across here to Tajeli. I think they'll be pretty happy to have Tajeli back, Roshan, because Nakudin was having a tough time last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly found it difficult. We're getting pulled apart by Tampines, especially down the left-hand side. Taufik Suparno getting into really good areas. just couldn't finish off those opportunities, Tampines, and Tajelli is going to bring in a lot more experience on the right-hand side, tenacity, and also his ability, Tajelli, to get forward and support the attack. You've seen him put in some really good crosses as well from down that side of the pitch.
AIA launches. Omori. Another corner. They've dealt with the set pieces so far pretty okay.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes. I mean, early stages of the match.
Lopez has done well. Getafini's going to be covering a lot of ground today. Kobayashi with the header. Well, that cross has actually gone out of the ground. That's a first, I think.
I'm telling you, man, this is one of the better stadiums to be at. You know, just around, and if you're, you know, not in the ground, if you're not in the venue, just have a walk around, and you might be able to pick up an SPL match ball.
Yeah, there have been a few, haven't there?
There have been a few that have gone out of the ground.
Oh, last time you and I were here, it was eventful because there was a lightning warning alert. Don't want to jinx anything. Still time for all that. Back to Hassan Sani. Oh, that is not a good kick out from the goalkeeper. They managed to get it away. Falls to Lopez. Beginning to see a bit more of Albirex, aren't we?
Yeah, we are starting to get into the game as Lopez turns away and is fouled. And I mean, that's the individual quality of Diego Lopez, right? They've given it into him in a couple of situations where he's been under pressure and he's kept the hold of the ball. There's never any doubt about Diego Lopez and his individual quality. It's just whether he sort of fits into what they want at the Lion City Sailors. Well, he's being given opportunities from the starts now.
Here's Harris, just pushed up a little bit more. You can see the idea to get the ball across. The pressure there, Tajelli has it covered.
It's good covering by Tajelli. It was the number 10, Kan Kobayashi, in midfield, who just played that pass out of the left-hand side for the runner Fukuzawa. Good reading of the situation, and again, that's quality from Diego Lopez. Just look at how he receives and turns away from that pressure.
Really nice to see. That's what he can do.
It's so important to have players with that capability in your side. Players who can hold on to that ball in tight situations, because that gives you the chance then to break a press. And once you break that press, the field opens up and you can get the ball forward into these advanced areas.
Feeling their way into the game after the first 10 minutes, Albirex Niigata. Amro Ladley deals with that well. Nice work there from Adam Swanley, just goes across the pitch there, Tajelli. A number of these players, 11 of them to be exact, have been called up for Singapore. And the Tri-Series starts on the 23rd, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines. That will be nice to see them all in action. But no surprises that Lion City Sailors dominate the squad. Hassan Sani, Izwan Mahmood, Amro Ladley, Haris Harun, Ikram Rifki, Anu, Shadan Sulaiman, Hamish Shahin, Adam Swandi, Hafiz Noor and Song Wei-Yong all called up. Again, not the greatest kick, but Diego Lopez spots it and he's set. Hafiz Noor on his way. It's a good ball, wasn't it? Try and release him. On the turn, Diego. Forced back a little bit, Adam Swandi to Shadan Sulaiman. Out wide to Hafiz. That's a searching ball across the face of the goal.
Well, you know what was great about that move from the Lion City Sailors? It all started from Diego Lopez dropping off into a deeper midfield area. Ball played into him. First time he pinged it in behind for Hafiz Noor. And then they try and make use of that second opportunity.
Yeah, no one really putting their hand up there for any kind of foul. Yes, Hafiz. Back to Tajeli. Amrul Adli. Got to be careful. It's now surging forward. He's done well to recover. He's given the ball away, though.
Well, they kind of ran out of options there, Amirul. Got the ball caught under his boot, was able to keep it alive, able to hang on to it. And he was looking for options in front of him. They'd all been closed off. That's where, in those moments, he just needs a little bit more movement. In the end, he was trying to play it into Diego Lopez. It was well read by Kakuta. Let's cut out that pass. But Diego Lopez having a big influence on the Lion City Sailors and their play in possession early on.
Launched forward to the makeshift right back, Matsuura. I won't say makeshift, but he is in there for Idetsu. Big miss today not to have Sugita as well.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't get... We're talking about the two players missing today. One is Tada Naridi, of course, everyone will talk about him, but I really like the look of how he's started the season, Sugita.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sugita has been very explosive for Albirex off that left-hand side, and he can drift into central positions. Again, another one who gets into really good areas and scored for them recently against Young Lions, didn't he?
Nicely done there by Diego Lopez. Here's Tajeli. Now to Adam Swandi. Shadan Sulaiman. Certainly seeing a lot more of the ball, and this time round. We have got an update, by the way. It's another massive match. I should tell you that Boris Kapitovic has opened the scoring for Tampines Rovers against Hougang. It's the big four teams in action, effectively, in Singapore football these days, Roshan.
Yeah, and I think Tampines feel encouraged and lifted by that early goal from Boris Kapitovic. I think they've played some really good football, Tampines. They were really unlucky not to pick up anything from that game against the Lion City Sailors.
Boy, what would they have given to have an 11th minute goal last week? And they probably should have had 2 or 3 by then, right?
Yeah, the game should have been killed off by half-time.
Yeah.
And that's how good they were, and that's how many chances and opportunities they were creating.
And I'm sure that's been the message this week is, guys, we actually played really well, particularly that first half.
Yeah.
Keep the heads up.
It's so important for Gavin to send that message through, and I think players as well will know.
They'll know
players
that,
will
right?
know that
Yeah.
we played well. We played well. We were the better team. The result didn't go our way. The next time we need to finish off our opportunities.
Yeah.
But let's keep going at the same sort of style, the same tempo, the same intensity. And it looks like they've gotten off to a great start against a Hougang team who are trying to play this new sort of style, but it's going to take a bit of time to settle.
I'll come back to that. Here comes Nicky Singh. Handball in the process.
Yeah, I think it's handball there. Just popped up off the turf onto the arm of Nicky Singh.
You quite like him, don't you? He's a lively fella, isn't he, on the right-hand side?
I think he's a talented young man. He works really hard, and that's really great to see. You know, he's getting up and down, and he's contributing to this Albirex side. You know, he's not just taking up a spot in the team as a Singaporean player. He's actually
like on last year.
Yeah, exactly. These are two players who I think are contributing to the cause, and you can rely on them as a coach.
A lot to be said for these Singaporean players who have this 1 or 2 years in Albirex, right?
Yeah.
As he goes down there, Tajeli. The exposure, it is almost, in a way, the closest thing to signing for going to another country to play.
Yeah, and I think in terms of, we'll just have another look at that, the first foul from Amiruddin. But you see that they're biting into these challenges, and that's
which perhaps they weren't necessarily doing before.
Attitude to want to close down, to be quick, to be aggressive. Again, they do that here in midfield.
Really nicely done by Diego Lopez.
It's a good game of football, this. The quality has been good. On the ball, Lion City Sailors are dominating it a bit more, want to impose themselves on this Albirex side, and they're aggressive without it. Can the press and close down together.
Harris giving the ball away, but it's won back by Lion City Sailors. Naki just falling over, I think.
Oh, that could have been nasty, and it's nothing.
He's a pretty big guy as well, Anaki.
Yeah, there was nothing naughty about that. I think he just lost his footing, Anaki. He was trying to accelerate into that space. He actually just lost his footing, lost his balance, and he went crashing into Matsuura. Let's have another look at that. There, he just loses his step, loses his footing there.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse.
But he's a bulky guy, isn't he, Anaki?
Yeah, very
well
powerful,
built, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, so when he falls on you, you're going to feel that. Thankfully, Matsuura is okay.
Had a good impact last year, Anaki.
Did.
When he was out with the Jaguars on loan.
Here is Omori. Jelly trying to put a little pressure on. A foul coming in from behind on Fukazawa. Now, that might just be the last warning from Mamataki.
Yeah, Tajeli giving Fukazawa the look as well after that. He just wants to let him know he's there. And once Fukazawa getting his first start of the season, doesn't want to let a young player get anything on him.
That will be offside on Nicky Singh. Yeah, it's actually a fabulous Friday if you think about it in Singapore football, isn't it? With two big games going on at the same time. Unusual, perhaps. We have got two matches tomorrow as well. And a chance to lay down a marker. I tell you what, Tanjong Pagar will be looking at this and really hoping for a draw as they try to maintain their place at the top of the SPL, which is just wonderful at the moment for Singapore football.
Yeah, I certainly think so. The fact that they're up there, teams are taking points off each other.
Yeah.
It's good competitiveness to the league.
No further goals. And the other match, apart from that one we saw from Briska Pitovic, and well, that was a pass back, wasn't it? Amr Adli to Hassan. They've just about got away with that.
Yeah, that was such a strange situation. What was the thinking behind that? Amirul, and not just Amirul, as Hassan clears it, Tajeli decides that he wants to go head it back towards the danger zone. It doesn't quite get enough purchase on the header. It's just fortunate for them that Albirex couldn't take advantage, and Tajeli was back in position to hack it away.
Looks like a big throw in, or with a bit of that run in here. Matsuura. There's a lot of air on that one. Something acrobatic.
And
Not really going to cause too many problems from Nicky Singh. But that's probably just a little show of the confidence on the young man, isn't it? Let's try something like this.
Look, I don't think anything really phases him.
Yeah.
You know, he when he plays with the self-belief, the confidence. And it was the same with Ong Yuen last season.
Yeah.
You know, again, these are two young guys who were playing in this side who believed that they could make a difference and make an impact.
You know, we look at a man now playing for Lion City Sailors, Adam Swandi, and that spell at Albirex did him a world of good, didn't it?
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, you brought up a good point about, you know, perhaps experiencing what it's like to be at a club overseas while still in Singapore, in some sense, in terms of the requirements in the training, the work that they put in, the level of professionalism they're trying to implement.
Yeah. And that, by the way, is a massive credit to Albirex Niigata and how they run things here. And not only that, but they also embed themselves within the community here.
Yeah.
Part of Yuhua, and they do a lot of community activities. Really good to see. It's an example for everyone. Anaki won't get there. Matsuura back to his central defender there, Kobayashi. Go down the middle. There's a sea of players in there. There comes to Amori. Nicely done by Amori. Just skips past Tajeli. Sorry, Hafiz Noor. Oh, that's just wide. Fairoz Hassan. He's had a couple of really good sighters, right?
Whoa, what an effort. What a goal that would have been for Fairoz. That had ended up in the back of the net. I know from Kan Kobayashi, he has this quality in him, these floated diagonals into the penalty area. Fairoz Hassan cutting right across that first time. Good technique.
That would have been a superb goal for Fairoz. He's got into good positions. Lovely ball floated in as well, by the way, Kobayashi. But the chances at the moment, all for Albirex Niigata, 3 so far. That's a delightful ball from Lopez, trying to set Hafiz Noor loose. Lopez, Naki, using his weight there. Or his body, rather.
Well, there's been a lot of hard running from Anaki. Not quite the quality just yet. A couple of times when it's made its way out into him, the move has just broken down for the Sailors. But again, I mean, how they get forward so quickly on that counter-attack. Again, it's Diego Lopez who plays such a big part because his passing, he knows exactly when he needs to hang on to it, when he needs to play it quickly, 1 and 2 touch, to keep the move going.
Yeah, they've been certainly more of a threat. We've got a second goal. And the man who we really were so impressed with last week, Taufik Suparno, doubles the lead in the 22nd minute. This is almost how we thought things would end up last week, because both Kapitovic and Taufik had superb chances, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think the Stags, Tampines, taking out their frustrations on Hougang.
Poor Hougang on the backlash.
Taufik as well, just getting called up to the Singapore national side recently.
Correct. Very good for him, well done, because he absolutely deserves it for the way he has started the season. Now they come forward here. Albirex is cut out from Matsuura. That falls loose to Fairoz. And at the second time of asking, Hassan got down well, didn't he?
Well, Fairoz is just, every time he gets a sight of goal, he's probably been told to have a crack. There he is again. And really good technique on this strike once more.
Wish he did that in the first chance.
Yeah, look, it has to hit it first time. He just spins, turns away, and he says, fine, there's a little bit of space in front of me. I'm going to have a shot at goal. There's plenty of power behind that. Enough to trouble Hassan, who has to get up very quickly to make sure that Albirex don't put away the second ball. Good
clean hit from Fairoz there to trouble Hassan Sunny. All the chances at the moment coming from the home side. Shadan. It's not a great ball, is it? Kobayashi, it's a late challenge on him perhaps from Ikram. He's picked himself up quickly. So while they've had a little bit more verve about it, a bit more energy, Roshan, than perhaps what we've seen in the last few matches, should there be a concern that they haven't mustered a single chance yet in 25 minutes? That's the kind of level we expect Lion City Sailors to have by now, don't we?
Yeah, and I think that they've allowed Albirex a couple of opportunities at goal. I think that will be a little bit concerning, but let's see if they can muster something up here.
Ball is swung in by Ikram Rifki. Hafiz Noor on the other side. He's given the ball away. Was there a foul? None given. Managed to clear the danger in the end. Omori. Ludley decides to play it safe. Well, we saw the last time that they made a lot of switches. They've switched a lot, haven't they? They've shuffled the pack a lot. Lion City Sailors. They've got the squad to do it. Does that cause a concern, perhaps, as they come forward here, that maybe they're just not getting necessarily their best level? I know they've also had COVID issues and injuries. As the ball is swung in by Matsuura. Just that a lack of consistency in the selection.
It is a consideration. Oh, lovely work by Diego Lopez again. I mean, first of all, he works hard to win the ball back for his side there. And then the composure to hang on to it under pressure from two players, spin away, win the free kick, slow it down. Here, there you go. Have a look at this. I'll just show you one way and spin away the other. It's taken down by Omori.
Yeah, sorry, you were talking about the maybe not having the same 11 or close to the same 11.
Yeah, I mean, that is a consideration, sure. At the same time, they've themselves have spoken about making sure that there are minutes for people in the squad with the depth that they have. And no point as well having a squad of, I don't know, what 25, 30 players, whatever it is, most of whom are high-quality players, and they're not getting enough minutes. And when you give them the opportunity, they aren't able to sort of perform.
Don't forget, they have got the AFC Champions League coming up next. The ball slipped through. There's Lopez. Amrul Ashraf throwing himself at the ball. Will be a corner.
You think about sides as well who... That move from Lion City Sailors, again, was patient in the build-up. They spread themselves out well. You saw that 5 attackers up against that Albirex back line. Just looking to try and get extra numbers up against them. The big teams across the world of football have that depth. Just see, have a look
corner,
at this.
flicked across. And that will be a goal kick. A reminder that, of course, Lion City Sailors are involved in the AFC Champions League, which starts just under a month from now. And they will kick off... Sorry, they will play Shandong Taishan from China, Japan's Urawa Reds, and Daegu FC from Korea. It's going to be a tough time for them. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of minutes for everyone. And I wonder if that's also playing into the coach's considerations now. Here is Omori. Kajeli cuts it out. Looking for Lopez. That's well read by Kobayashi. And Fukazawa with the cross in. Nicely done by Lopez to get in the way in the shot. It was a wild one in the end, but that's what Lopez is at least doing. He's covering a lot of ground.
He's working really hard on and off the ball for them. And there's a bit more space for Albirex to work with because of Lion City Sailors and how open this game is at the moment. Look, here, have a look at this. Fukazawa just trips over Lopez a little bit. I think there might have been a little bit of contact. And if Fukazawa decides that he's going to go down instead of staying on his feet, it would have given the referee a decision to make. But good on him. He stays up, tries to have that shot.
Half an hour gone here at Jurong East Stadium. No goals so far between Albirex Niigata and Lion City Sailors. A mouth-watering clash. Many would think will be first and second in the league, fighting for those 2 top spots. At the moment, looking at the table, it is Albirex second, but it's not Lion City Sailors top. They are in 4th place. A win here today would put them on 6 points. They would need an absolute massive win to overtake Albirex Niigata. So I'll just correct myself. Any win today would take them past Albirex Niigata. As Matsuura looking for Nicky Singh, who's fouled. The difference between Lion City Sailors and every other squad is that they can bring on the likes of Kim Shin-wook, Maxime Lestienne. We've also got Singapore internationals like Anu, Gabriel Kwak, Faris Rumley. Incredible what they've got at their disposal. Fukuzawa just dropped off a little bit this match, just for a while. Now Matsuura. Albirex always quite happy to play the waiting game, aren't they? First time that across. Nicky Singh. Almost feels like a shoot on sight instruction, doesn't it?
Well, they're working these opportunities, these openings well. Again, you said Albirex patient in possession. They certainly are under Kazuaki Yoshinaga, and that was brilliant from the centre-back Jun Kobayashi. On his left foot, disguise that he puts on that pass, you know, it's something that LCS defense doesn't expect, because they're thinking a right-footed player isn't going to be playing that sort of reverse pass on his left foot. And then the first-time ball in, and eventually a shot from Nicky Singh. This is such a fascinating game of football at the moment. I think how it's playing out tactically, it's been really good to watch.
Bit of a chess match, right? The way they are approaching this.
I mean, there'll be moments here, like you see, when perhaps Sharan's in a bit of trouble. He's got his back facing Albarex's goal, and that's that cue, you know, to go out and press and put pressure. Then they'll start to move up as a team. But otherwise, neither side really looking for that sort of high-pressing game at the moment. They're both quite happy to say to the other, you can build from those from that defensive phase, and we'll see how you get on.
He was looking for a free kick, wasn't he, there? Hafiz Noor.
It's good work by Kunpei Kakuta. So confident.
They're solid, aren't they, Kakuta and Kobayashi in that midfield?
Two players very composed on the ball in possession, and got a central defender there in Jun Kobayashi, who can step forward with it, and who's got a wonderful passing range. In fact, all across that back line, they've got really good passing range. Omori can go left to right with big diagonals. Keito Haria as well can play it. And Jun Kobayashi, I mean, we've seen a couple of great examples of him sort of playmaking from that deeper position. And one of the, I would say, the silver lining, perhaps, Kunimoto's injury, he's put him out. He normally would be the starting central defender.
Yes, for sure.
But he's been out, and that's given us an opportunity to see Keito Haria,
who stepped in beautifully.
Who stepped in really well. I've been very impressed with him. 18 years old. He doesn't look like a central defender at all. Look at him. You know, he's
pretty wiry.
Wiry, but his reading of the game is really good. In the air, we saw him in the Community Shield win several headers up against Kim Shin-wook.
Maybe that's why Kim's not starting now. Just kidding. There's Anaki, who just seems to have come over to this right-hand side for a little bit. There hasn't really been any danger presented to that back line yet, has there, for Albirex? Not too
dangerous
much.
Opportunities, no.
A couple of runs from Hafiz Noor.
Yeah.
A bit lively.
Yeah. I mean, there have been moments in possession where LCS have looked a lot better than they have for the first few weeks of the season. But still, like, creating that dangerous chance in that Albirex penalty area. We haven't quite seen that from the Sailors.
Here's Haria. Out to Omori. Puts the ball into the box. Fairoz. Just about got something on that Tajeli. Fukuzawa gets his team a corner.
You know, on that note of creating danger, would it be really interesting, you know, if we were had access to see how many sort of touches LCS would have had in the opposition penalty area, because I don't remember them having too many, unlike Albirex.
Got corners though, if you want, Roshan. 3-1.
Thanks for pointing that out, Shez.
They've certainly had a lot of touches, Albirex, in that penalty area, or just in and around it. Throws it out to Anaki. Ikram Rifki, who's looking to add on to his 4 international caps, said he's very excited about being called up and that opportunity because Nur Adam and Shakir Hamza have got injuries at the moment. Forward by Adam Swandi, looking to bring in Hafiz Noor. It looks dangerous on this right-hand side. All over the top to Diego Lopez. Back to Tajeli. Looking for the give and go. Kind of breaking down, isn't it, in these areas?
Okay, the encouraging thing from a Sailors' perspective is the way they're able to progress the ball forward into those wide areas. But then the quality when they need it the most is just not being there. That final pass has been lacking. That's a frustration from the Sailors. The approach play, most of it has looked good.
Yeah. Final third is where things are not really quite working out for them, perhaps. Oh, it looked like a really good ball to Amori. We were talking about the fine passing ability of the backcourt. It was actually his inability there to control, perhaps.
And he gives a thumbs up to his teammate. Acknowledgement.
Amori's one has also caught the eye. He loves his bombing runs down that left-hand side. He's combined so well with Sugita. Now, Ikram. Harris to Amirul Adli. Tajeli. It's gone out to Ikram, but it's a pretty innocuous header to the keeper.
Again, there's an example of that frustration for the Sailors. Lovely big diagonal switch from Tajeli out to Ikram. He couldn't quite find his teammate. There will be space out in those wider areas, which is why I said those wider positions are going to be fascinating. And so far we've seen Albirex perhaps take advantage the most of the spaces in those wider positions.
That's very nicely done, isn't it, by Haris Harun. Well, Roshan, as we hit the 40-minute mark, would you say this is probably the best first half you've seen for Albirex this season? Sorry, from
Line City
Sailors, yes. From Line City Sailors this season?
Yeah, first half, yes. Definitely. Which is strange, because we'll probably bring out the numbers and it'll be like 0 shots on target or something like that.
Yeah, no, it is, you're right.
Yeah, but performance-wise, the way the approach play has been, the way they've been aggressive in their pressing, that's what we're again going to see here. The way they've tried to shut down and win the ball back. It's been, as you said, the best first 45 I've seen from Line City Sailors this season.
Kodai Tanaka has been actually the quieter of the two forwards today. The hot shot here in the SPL has been Fairuz Hassan, his partner, who's had the opportunities. In fact, it's the two Singaporeans playing for Albirex who've had the chances. There's Amirul. Now Diego Lopez goes after this. They're just neat and tidy at the back, aren't they, Albirex? Almost casual, just very good at what they do. Lay themselves out of any potential problem. There's Fukazawa trying to switch and cut out by Ikram Rifki. Heavy touch by Nicky Singh. Back with Lion City Sailors. Certainly, you'd think that possession-wise it's improved for Albirex. Energy levels as well. As Roshan said, probably the best first 45 we've seen from them this season thus far. I mean, that many matches, of course. But they do tend to concede in the first half. And there's 3 minutes left. It's been a marked change, hasn't it, Roshan, in almost all the matches to how much they improve in the second. It's usually a reaction to what's happened in the first.
The first half, yeah. But again, that move, I mean, nice patient build up from the Sailors, and they find a good pass. Sheldon finds a really good pass straight through the middle of that Albirex midfield into Anaki, and he loses possession there. That's when they need to hang on to it. They need someone in there to hold on to it and bring others into play.
Flag has stayed down. Here's Kodai Tanaka. Now Fairoz. It's gathered by Hassan Sani. Well, the two big names not on the pitch today. Well, not for now anyway. Taranarili not available. Chinook on the bench. I wonder whether we will see that change later on. Just missing that little bit of extra quality, isn't it? Especially in that final third from Lion City Sailors. They certainly have an abundance of that on the bench as well, should they decide to make that change. Here is Tajeli. That's not the greatest ball, and it's given away. Nicky Singh. Oh, and it's a save from Hassan Sani, but what a great opportunity. That's probably the most, well, the best one so far.
Great chance. Big opportunity for Albirex again. But Hassan Sani has been Lion City Sailors' best player this season.
By the way, how many times have you said that?
And again, exactly, and again, that's another example why. I really have no idea what on earth Tajeli is doing here. They're so casual as well, because he's put it in a spot there where Adam thinks, oh, it's meant for Hassan. And Hassan thinks, oh, well, Adam's going to get to it. But what's he doing? He completely miskicks it, and then he's still walking in that situation, not trying to get himself back. And thankfully for them,
the opening goal is scored. And what a goal that is! Omori! Well, it has been coming. Albirex have had all the opportunities. It's probably the hardest one they've had.
Incredible technique on the hit. What a finish from Omori. I mean, Hassan's been special in goal, but even he's not getting to that one. Have a look at this. I wonder if it's deliberately played into that space for him. Oh, that's an incredible goal.
He's cut right across it. Look at the swerve on this.
Listen, I'm not even... Has it taken a bit of a deflection off Amirul? Maybe it has, but...
Oh, let's not take that away from him.
I'm not even exaggerating here, but I don't think there's any goalkeeper in world football that gets to it, just because of where it's placed.
Well, they've had their first shot. Anaki with the shot. Listen, a few years ago, the Puskás Award went to a Malaysian player who scored a very similar goal to that. More swerve and further out. But if that didn't take a deflection, that is a superb strike.
Incredible hit. I still think it took a bit of a deflection off Amirul.
Well, the good news is Roshan and John Dykes will be analysing the highlights at halftime, and you can have another look at it again. Mohammad Faiz Subri, by the way, got the Puskás Award for a very similar type of goal. But anyway, it is half-time, and right at the death, and almost in keeping with what we've seen so far, Albirex Niigata, Lion City Sailors have conceded once again in the first 45 minutes. Albirex have had plenty of chances, and you would say, arguably, deserve to go in front. It looked like a wonder strike. Roshan will analyse that. Daichi Omori, on the stroke of half-time, gets that all-important goal. And here at Jurong East Stadium, it reads Albirex Niigata 1, Lion City Sailors 0.
From Daichi Omori, it's Albirex Niigata who have the halftime lead here at Jurong East against Lion City Sailors. Rish Roshan Rai has commentated on that game. Just before we get to the highlights, you know what's great today? The atmosphere. We've got the expanded crowd, we got two great sets of fans, and I'm just glad that one of them has got a goal to celebrate already.
Atmosphere has been brilliant, as you said. It's been quite good to be here and listen into both sets of fans. Lion City Sailors fans have tried to raise the level of their side, and so have the Albirex fans have responded as well. And what a great goal. What an incredible goal to celebrate going into the halftime break.
Yeah, we'll come to that goal in due course, but as far as the first half highlights are concerned, well, I suppose you'd have to say it wasn't as free-flowing as open as it might have been, but with Kim Shin-wook on the bench for one side, with two key attacking players out for Albirex, it was always going to be difficult. And it's been interesting to see, without the tall Korean in the centre, how LCS have gone about this.
Yeah, well, they look to try and play the ball into the wider channels, and that's where the spaces are for both these sides because of how compact both these teams have been in those central positions. And again, you're going to see another example of that. The ball played out to Hafiz Noor. He's got a bit of space, takes a good first touch, gets it out of his feet, and he's got space to swing in a pretty dangerous cross. They couldn't quite make the most of it on that occasion.
What have we made of Albirex going forward? The chances that did came along, by and large, it was Kobayashi who always did a good ball coming to Farouz Hassan.
Yeah, this was a really good move from Albirex again, how they just were patient in possession until the moment and the time came for Kan Kobayashi to just lift it in to Farouz. And that's great. I mean, I love the technique and the courage of Farouz to take that one on first time. He was taking shots on first time, by the way, pretty much in this game. It almost was as if he was given a license to say every time you see a space in front of you, just have a crack at goal. You've got the technique to hit them, and he's hit them on that occasion with his left foot as he falls into him. Just have a look here. First touch, boom, straight down the middle, cause problems for Hassan, and he had to be really quick to get back up.
It takes something special to beat Hassan Sunny. There was an opportunity, and you know, Tajali, who's back in the side and had a pretty solid first half, just had an aberration mentally here, gives the ball away, and Nicky Singh should really be punishing him.
Yeah, I think it's just, I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there. Perhaps caught in two minds, Tajali, of wanting to play back to Amirul or play back to Hassan. In the end, it was neither. And both Adam and Hassan weren't quite sure if they should go out and go for it. Ultimately, Hassan makes the correct decision to backtrack, backpedal, and protect his goal, and then reassesses. You look what he does here. He's got his eyes on the ball all the way through. He reassesses, he sets himself, and then he makes the young man decide where he's going to put it, and then he makes a decision. I mean, it's terrible from Tajeli. I'm sure he'll hold his hands up to it, but such a great opportunity for Nicky Singh.
Roshan, we were building our halftime chat. It was going to be, no goals, nothing to report, and then suddenly, well, that was just such a thunderbolt from nowhere, really, that it caught everybody on the hop. Let's have a look at the replays, because Omori, I don't think he'll ever score a better goal than this one.
What a hit. An incredible hit from Omori. I think, again, I'm not sure, I said this time at commentary, when we have a look at the replay, it might just have taken a bit of a deflection of Amirul. Have a look at this. I think it takes a bit of a deflection of Amirul. Doesn't matter. Never mind. Sorry to be sounding like a party pooper here. Sorry to be sounding like a party pooper here. Still a brilliant goal, Omori. I'm not taking anything away from you. Fantastic. What an opener for Albirex. And I think ultimately, the way the game has gone, with the opportunities that Albirex have created, with the possession that they've had in the first half, I think it's a deserved lead.
Let's have a look at the stats. Let's just have a look and see if anything else bears that out. I'm with you on that. I think just from the naked eye, they've looked to me like the team more likely to score in this game. There you go. It's borne out by 9 shots, 4 on target. They've got the goal out of that. Fair enough, right?
Yeah, fair enough. I think they deserve that on the balance of play. Lion City Sailors, the performance has been better. It's the best 45 minutes I've seen from them in the season so far. Progression of the ball is not an issue. They get it up into those attacking positions well, but then that quality has really been lacking. Once they get into those spaces where it needs to be played one touch, it needs to be played quick, the precision needs to be there. That's missing from their game tonight. Whereas for Albirex, they've been able to make the most of the opportunities, create chances and finish from a great chance.
Lacking that cutting edge. And so often our conversation around Lion City Sailors surrounds what they can throw in off the bench, what they've got. Well, they've got 6 foot a lot of something they can throw on. At what point does that become an option?
Well, I think it's going to start being an option here as we start the second half. I think Kim Shin-Wook has got to come on just because you have him available on your bench. When you've got a player of that reputation, of that quality, you need to bring him on to change the game because, again, as I mentioned, the progression is fine. They're getting it into those wider areas. They're looking to try to get crosses in there, but the finishing touch, the person who needs to hold on to it in those positions is missing from the Sailors lineup at the moment.
Yeah, that's great analysis, and that's really what this game seems to need. The goal was the best thing that could have happened to this match. I think we're both agreed on that one. And it's Albirex Niigata's fans who are the happier at half-time. I can tell you there have been a couple of goals elsewhere at our Tampines hub. Tampines opening their account for the season with a couple of goals. Are we going to have more in the second half here at Jurong East Stadium? Well, it's set up perfectly now as the champions are trailing and the champions need to throw something on to turn this game around. Roshan and Shez will be back with second half commentary after this.
We are back at Jurong East Stadium. AIA Singapore Premier League match at the moment between Albirex Niigata and Lion City Sailors stands at 1-0 to the home side, thanks to a late goal in that first half from Daichi Omori. Rish Roshanai has had a few more looks at it and is convinced that it took a deflection. Okay, at the end of the day, it's a goal. They're in front.
It's a good goal. And it's a goal that they've deserved.
Yeah.
One for the dubious goals panel to go and figure out.
We'll have a chat with them.
Yep.
Roshan is going to give his evidence in that one. But, Roshan, it is the culmination of what's been a very good performance by Albirex Niigata. Once again, a lot to be desired from Lion City Sailors because they are a goal down at half-time. That's been pretty much the story of the season.
Yeah, I think what has been better for them, what has been positive, is the fact that, again, I said this in the first half and at the halftime analysis, that the progression of the ball has looked pretty good.
Yeah.
They're getting it into the wider areas, which I think that is where they're looking to try and get the ball into. But once it goes into the central positions, they don't have a player in there who was able to hang on to it and bring others into play at the moment, or a player who's able to be a threat in the opposition penalty area. And also, what the Lion City Sailors are doing well off the ball is they're pressing aggressively in certain situations. They've generally tried to keep their compactness, but Albirex have made far better use of their quality in the wider positions. That's where they've created their chances. That's where they created the opportunities from. And they've looked more dangerous than this Lion City Sailors side.
I just want to bring up something that Kim Do-hoon had said earlier this week. One of the reasons he put forward that they have struggled a bit was the fact that Kim Shin-wook has come into the side as a very different kind of forward from Stipe Plazibat, because he's a traditional number 9. He's further up the pitch. Stipe likes to link up play between midfield and attack. They didn't have Kim Shin-wook in that first half. They had Amirullah Nasraf, who does drop back a little bit, drop deeper and try to join in. And then I'm assuming we're going to see Kim Shin-wook at some point now, especially that they're a goal down. There must be an element of that, and we're going to see a change here. Oh no, it's Amirullah Nasraf. He is going to continue. It looks like.
But look,
it looks like Noor Adam. Wow.
Yeah, and I think we might even be seeing Maxime Lestien coming on.
Well, they have got 5 substitutes these days in the SPL, and we are seeing 2 changes. Anaki Ismit is going off, and so it seems is Tajeli, who will be replaced by Noor Adam. Now, will Noor Adam go into his traditional left-back role and Ikram move to the right? Or will he go straight to right-back? We'll have to see very shortly. But, yeah, and we probably expected a reaction, didn't we, at half-time?
Yeah, and I think this is an injection of quality with Lestien. Certainly need that quality in the attacking positions. Diego Lopez has done a really good job for them in possession, hanging on to it in tight spaces, opening the pitch up for them, moving the play along. But they need someone in those attacking areas, and especially in those wide positions now with Anaki coming off. Maxime Lestien can start out in those wider areas. You know he'll be able to hang on to the ball and be direct with his attacking and have that ability to take defenders on and show off his individual quality.
So we have Noor Adam Abdullah. That's a great sight, not just for Lion City Sailors, but also for Singapore fans. He hasn't been called up to the national squad. He's only literally just come back from injury, but it'll be interesting to see how he slots in. Maxime Lestien, the 29-year-old Belgian, who has been called up to the national squad, not got a cap yet, but has played for Belgium at under-21 level, has played in the Champions League, has represented clubs like Bruges and Standard Liège and Malaga in La Liga. He's been brought in this season. Hasn't got much game time so far, Roshan. We've seen that Kim Do-hoon is very keen to just bed these guys in slowly.
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense, especially for Lestien, who's arrived late, as you mentioned. You want to make sure you give them a good base, and there's time for them to do that.
Yeah.
It's a long season. You want to make sure that these guys are available to you throughout. And Diego Lopez as well, someone who also picked up an injury in pre-season.
Yes.
He's needed a bit of time to really try and get his fitness levels up there to the required standard. And now he's starting matches for them.
So Nur Adam will be playing on that. I was given away already, Nur Adam. Your thoughts on inverted fullbacks, Roshan?
I think they're having a bit of an issue perhaps with the situation in the depth with the fullbacks.
So easily turned there, and that shot is fired over. Why not have a go, Fukazawa?
But listen, if you're an inverted fullback in a sense, coming up against an inverted winger, which Fukazawa is, you know, so essentially he's going to be coming in onto your stronger foot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? No, Adam's left foot, he's looking right inside. He's going to be coming in on your stronger foot. Yeah. But I think they're having to sort of make do at the moment with just a lack of depth in those fullback positions. We know Nakiuddin would probably be the one to, if he was around, if they were to look at replacing Tajeli, it'd be Nakiuddin playing at the right back, and then vice versa. And same down this left-hand side, it's between Ikram and Nur Adam in those positions.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting choice. Tajeli back into the side today, and then taken off at half-time. He didn't probably have a particularly memorable first half. Tanaka gives chase.
Well, not really the best of signs at the moment. Maxime Lestienne is already grimacing and holding onto his hamstring. It's off your picture. It's
just made a little darting run there, Maxime Lestienne. And he just brings that a little bit more cutting edge to this side. Albirex, 9 shots, as you would have seen the halftime, the statistics, 4 on target, and I think that's probably testament to the fact that Fairoz and Nicky Singh are still on the pitch. Quite often we do see the Singapore players taken off, or at least one of them is, and both of them are on. They actually had quite a lot of chances between them, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Fairoz especially was almost shoot on sight.
Yeah.
It came close, a couple of situations, and Nicky Singh as well with that big chance, one-on-one against Hassan. He's lacking that composure when he needed it.
And that's something I'm sure the young man will gain. Just 19 years of age.
Hey, you know what? The additional finishing training seemed to work wonders for Korai Tanaka.
That's true. Well, that was very, very good tackling from Adam Swandi. A cool take there from Hassan Sani. Oh. Talking of cool takes, look at that. From Diego Lopez. Makes it look effortless, doesn't he? Surging forward. He wants a lot of the ball, Maxime Lestienne. That is cheap ball given away again by Lion City Sailors. And a cynical little tug back there from Adam Swandi, who probably will get a yellow card for this.
Yeah, it's the right decision.
Adam from Adam or from the referee?
No, from the referee. I mean, from Adam, he knew exactly what he was doing. They were about to be exposed on the counter-attack. And Amori was driving forward right through the middle.
Do you think that was warranted? Probably think you should take one for the team there?
Yeah, I think in those situations, you're probably looking at the fact that Amirul has stepped out from the center of defense. The rest of the back line is perhaps going to have a problem with a player running at them and the options that he would have had. So those are the things that go through your mind in those moments. Sometimes you panic a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And think, I have to commit this foul now.
Especially when we see it on the slow-mo again, like, oh, was there a need for that? But
because you know what's going to happen, right? If he lets that go, and they score on that counter-attack, everyone,
why didn't you?
Including these pundits on TV, are going to be using that outcome bias thing again and being like, oh, you should have fouled him. He should have fouled him in the middle of the park.
I wondered whether we would hear that phrase so soon after last week. By popular demand.
It was just you, but that's why I had to bring it up.
Thank you.
Special request.
Thank you for indulging.
Yeah.
Here's Haris Harun. He's got Fyros right on him. No changes at halftime for Albirex. Remember, you can make 5 now this year in the SPL. One of the number of changes we've had. That should be straightforward for Hassan Sani. You normally expect a little bounce from Lion City Sailors after the break, and energy levels and quality. So, as Roshan mentioned, this is probably the best first half we've seen so far from them this season.
Still not good enough.
Yeah,
because they didn't create anything, which is
they only created that one shot after they conceded.
Yeah,
which is
kind of tells you a lot. It's pretty.
Well, it's 4-0 right now at our Tampines hub. Boris Kapitovic. In just after half-time, they are rampant at the moment, and boy, is this a reaction, you'd think, from what happened last weekend. Well, to give one of those goals that they scored today against Lion City Sailors, but they have certainly responded well after that disappointing defeat. And that was a sickening blow for them, but they've responded brilliantly. They're also involved in Asian competition, of course, in the AFC Cup.
Yeah, I think in competition, more suited to their level, and that's not an insult. I'm not insulting Tampines. I mean, like Singapore football's level at the moment, AFC Cup. But stepping up into the AFC Champions League is
it's a massive step, isn't it?
2 or 3 levels above. And you expect Tampines to, wow, I was just going to say do better in the AFC Cup, but and then doing better against Hougang.
Absolutely, Taufik Suparno. Look, these two are the players that we thought would be scoring bucket loads of goals. They are doing it today. Here's Ikram Rifki.
They are tearing Hougang apart.
Just our luck, Roshan. We've got the single goal today in this game. We had the single goal in the last game as well, when Lion City Sailors beat Tampines Rovers. Here's Adam Swandi. Haven't seen too much yet of Maxime Lestienne in these early stages. Here he is. Throw in here to Lion City Sailors. Well, I've got to give a lot of credit to the Lion City Sailors fans, because they've been a really good voice, getting right behind the team. Here's Harris. Oh, it's raining goals at the moment. Shawal Anwar has just pulled one back for Hougang. 5-1. I remember it was Hougang who dished out a 5-1 last season to Tampines Rovers. That was at the Hougang Stadium.
Well, how's that for inverted fullback? Shez Noradam from right back ended up on the left-hand
Literally
side.
come to the other side.
You can't deny what you are.
Now, player down here.
Yeah, I wonder if it's Matsuura.
Slowly picking himself up. Yeah, it is indeed. Matsuura always very gingerly picking himself up. Just to clarify, it's 2 goals apiece for Boris Kapitovic and Tawfik Suparno, and Zerdin Mehmedovic has got the third. It was 3-0 at half-time. And they are running rampant at the moment. Well, there's zero sympathy from the Lion City Sailor fans on that side of the stadium.
I mean,
we're kind of reveling at the moment.
It's great. It's great. I mean, to have fans in the grounds and to have this sort of atmosphere.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ball chipped over. The flag has stayed down on Hafiz Noor. And there are some recriminations here from the Albirex Niigata players. There's going to be a change here, by the way, for Albirex Niigata, and that's after that knock taken by Matsuura. And Sambongi, who's been in and out of the side on that right-hand side, Roshan, he comes back in, he slots into that right-back role. Here's Amarullah Nasraf. Swung back in by Shadan Sulaiman. Oh, just won't fall. And Haris Harun just jabs at it.
Yeah, he did enough. He was off balance as he hit that, but he did just enough to get that on target, forcing a save from Koga. And at one point, it almost looked like he was going to creep in. Just about might have had enough pace on that. Koga came across really well and quickly to keep that one out. Not enough power to beat him.
That's been their best chance so far. By the way, Nur Adam Abdullah has just clashed there with Nicky Singh. He has now come over to left back, and Ikram Rifki. Oh no, they're switching again.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that sometimes happens in those set-piece situations. Correct. Off the ball. Yeah. You just swap roles for the moment. If they've gone back into position now. Yeah, with Tetsuya Sambongi, I was a bit surprised that he didn't start this match. He started the season as their right back.
So ball in. Nicky Singh got some contact on that. It appears Ikram Rifki's going after the ball to indicate that perhaps it wasn't in fact him who got that last touch. Yeah, but I think Sambongi got dropped after the Tanjung Pagar game.
After the Tanjung Pagar game, yeah. So apparently he wasn't looking that confident. He's looking a little bit shaky. So he took him out of the team for a bit and just gave him a rest, a chance to try and get his confidence back. But I expected him to start this one. His replacement, Matsuura, has done a pretty good job.
Yeah,
making his debut for the side.
He's back here with Lion City Sailors. Here's Amarullah Nasraf just trying to shrug off the attentions of Kakuta. They've won it back here. The scary thing, of course, with Albirex is their side that just gets better and better as the season progresses. It's generally been the case over the last few years, and that's because 90% of the side is changed, isn't it, at the start of the season?
Yeah.
They take time to bed in.
Yeah. I mean, the scouting is so good. They're still able to find players who can come in and deliver what they're looking for.
Managed to wriggle his way through. Omori. Away by Amarul Adli, that cross in. So it's been about 15 minutes or so, Roshan. Have you seen any kind of bounce here from Lion City Sailors?
No. Not at all. There's been like maybe that one corner.
Yeah.
But it's been all Albirex, I think, to me, in the second half.
Waiting for that overlapping run. Decides to go on his own. Omori. The shot there from Kakuta. Now on the break. Ikram Rifki's just gone down. Lovely ball from Diego Lopez to Maxime Lestienne. Just a bit wide. Lestienne puts the cross in. It's easily dealt with. It's still with Lion City Sailors. Ikram Rifki, by the way, or not Ikram Rifki, excuse me, Adam Swandi has gone down. And stayed down actually for a bit now.
Took that shot straight to the abdomen. I think.
Might be the family jewels. So just hold on, we'll just wait. And there's actually another player coming on. Yeah, they are going to make a change. Adam Swandi is going to go off. And coming on will be Haikal Pasha. So they are going to make that change anyway.
Still no Kim Shin-wook.
No Kim Shin-wook, Faris Ramli, Gabriel Kwak, we've got all those options. Now, Haikal tends to play wide. So, does that mean Maxime Lestienne goes into the middle? Let's see.
It looks like he's been pushed into the middle alongside Diego Lopez.
That is quite a pairing, isn't it?
If they can get it to be effective.
It's not his natural position, Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it just looks like Kim Do-hoon is just going, well, let's try and make a few changes, see what works. And he's hoping that individual quality from the players that he got, Lopez and Lestienne, will be able to pull them through this difficult phase.
I was just trying to slip the ball through, wasn't he, Faris Hassan? It wasn't a great delivery from him to Kodai Tanaka. We've really seen, we've barely mentioned his name today. Kodai.
Yeah, Kodai Tanaka, yeah.
And the amount of chances they've created, he's not got on the end of them.
It's been the Singaporean boys. Yeah, Fairoz and Nikki, who've been on the end of those chances, of those opportunities. And then, of course, great strike from Omori.
Wide now. Has that gone out for a corner? No, it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, I think the Lion City Sailors fans were appealing for a handball.
Willing that to be.
Yeah. I don't think it was. Even if it had connected with his arm, there was absolutely no way he was going to be able to avoid that. Launched into him.
They do seem to be a bit of a bogey team, don't they, Albirex Niigata, for our Lion City Sailors. They've yet to beat them in the league in 5 meetings. 2 losses.
Yeah.
In 2020, lost 3-2. And then in last year, there were 3 draws. Though by some quirk, Haris Harun is unbeaten in his last 7 league appearances against Albirex. Sailors last year. Once, 3 with Home United in 2017. That's a rugby tackle at best from Haikal Pasha.
That's well defended by Sambongi. Really good reading of the game, coming across, cut out the danger, knew exactly the spaces that he needed to be in. Spotted the run, didn't follow the ball. Gets his body in the way and draws the foul.
Well, if there's any issues with confidence, that will certainly help him. Yeah, so Haris hasn't lost to Albirex since 2009. Young Lions losing there 3-2. Very different kind of Albirex back then. Ikram doing well to win the ball back. Haikal Pasha. Now Maxime Lestienne. Delightful ball across the face of the goal. Hafiz Noor steaming in at the far post.
Well, that's where they'll be dangerous. Lion City Sailors, they can win it, transition quickly, go into a counter-attack, get the ball forward. I mean, Lestienne knows exactly what he's doing. Just a bit too much on that. Was it for Hafiz Noor, who's thrown himself at it?
That's more like it, isn't it, from Lion City Sailors?
Yeah.
Well, they just upped the gear here. Amirul Adli. Now Noor Adam. There's Diego Lopez. Seems to have gone out wide again, hasn't he, Lestien? And there you go, Kim Shin-wook will come on for Amirul Din Ashraf. It's got a big cheer, hasn't it? The biggest signing, one that certainly grabbed the most attention. Kim Shin-wook, the big man, Korean international. He replaces Amirul Din Ashraf.
Well, they've got all their big foreign names on.
Up the other end though, Kodai Tanaka. Boy, I know he's in good form. That's ambitious.
Yeah, and I think he realized he was alone there, and he probably spotted Hassan leaving his near post unguarded. And thought that could have tried to catch him by surprise. Always going to be a difficult one for Tanaka. Giving you a chance to mention his name, you know.
Yeah, there we go. So, different kind of game now with Kim Shin-wook for Lion City Sailors, Roshan?
Yeah, definitely. I think they've now got a player in there who's going to be that focal point. If you give it into him with his quality, he should be able to hang on to it. And also, if they can get the service into him in the penalty area, we've seen that he's got that ability to finish off chances. But they want him to play close. This is where they would like him to be, close to Albirex penalty area. And that means the whole team has to move forward, and that means they leave a few gaps at the back. If they do get caught in possession, these are the dangerous moments for the Lion City Sailors, but they've got to try and make their way back into this game somehow, and they will have to take those risks.
So,
player number 26, is replaced by number 37.
So we're seeing changes now. Nikki Singh. Nikki Singh is replaced by Tsubasa Kawanishi. And Satsuki Mori is also now on.
Oh, really good battle on this side of the pitch there. Players going into these 50-50s, all clean challenges for physicality. And immediately involve Tsubasa Kawanishi.
So, yeah, Tsubasa Kawanishi in for Nikki Singh and Satsuki Mori in for Fukazawa. 3 changes now made. Earlier you saw Matsuura replaced by Sambongi. Out wide from Diego Lopez. Here's Ikram Rifki. Now Sharon Sulaiman. Will it fall on the box? Just fall kindly for Maxime Lestien.
Nah, that's a dive.
And he's also fallen, yeah. So referee unmoved by that, Mamataki.
Trying to win the penalty. But it was better from Lion City Sailors, and really good ball played into him by Shadan. Spotted that gap in that Albirex defense.
Noor Adam. Here's Amirul. Trying to just shift that ball quicker, aren't they? There's more urgency about Lion City Sailors. It's taken a while, isn't it? He's won the ball back there. Ikram, but then it's given away quickly. Fairoz. Lovely little touch on to Amori. Now Kobayashi. Will he get there? Straight to Hassan Sani, who immediately releases it. Nice work there from Maxime Lestienne, who's just gone over to that right-hand side for a bit.
The problem for the Sailors, though, is that a lot of the times Lestienne and Diego Lopez are having to drop into deeper and deeper positions in the middle of the pitch. And that's because they're struggling to find a way into them further up the pitch. So now they've sort of just switched it a little bit with Diego Lopez now pushing forward as Lestienne drops off.
Hafiz Noor with the ball in. That's very good defending, isn't it? Against Hafiz Noor, who feels that that should be a foul in his favour.
The reason why Lestienne and Diego Lopez are having to drop off into those central midfield areas, into deeper positions, is because LCS, as I said, struggling to get the ball into them, into attacking positions, and they aren't showing enough of that quality to build in the phases of possession without them in those positions.
Come forward again here, Albirex. Out wide here, Fairoz Hassan! That's a good save, but it's straight at Hassan Sani overall. How many chances has fallen to him today?
It wasn't a good first touch from Fairoz. There was plenty of power behind the shot at the end, yes, but it's straight down Hassan Sani's throat, essentially. You have a look at the first touch here. Great pass, the first touch.
Yeah.
It needs to be pushed on a little bit to give himself that momentum of the move, that rhythm of the move. Instead, what happens is he almost kind of kills
Pushes
it.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he almost kills it and allows Ikram to come across and close off the angle. Oh, sorry, was it Haikal, rather, to come off and close off the angle.
They're still creating those chances now. Diego Lopez trying to maybe have a counter. It's a free kick. Still have some attacking options on the bench here at Lion City Sailors if they want to try and get that equalising goal and more. Here's Lestienne. He's kind of making gestures to the guys in front of him.
Well, you look at where Diego Lopez and Lestienne are. Look, the three of them across the midfield with Shadan in the middle. And
slip through, Ikram Rifki. Driven across. Yeah, sorry, go back to that point you were making. About Lestienne saying across the midfield.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just goes back to the point about how they're so deep in that midfield because LCS need them in those positions when they have the ball to have the quality to progress the ball. But it's almost like...
Then you're nullifying a bit.
You're nullifying that because then you don't have them in those advanced positions to get the ball into.
Yeah. So perhaps with the introduction of players like Faris and Gabriel, would that change anything perhaps?
I think...
floated in. That's a nice confident punch by Koga.
I think the problem with Faris and Gabriel is that Faris, I think, is nursing a foot injury at the moment. It's
like
not
a
quite
game time
100%,
for both, right?
Not quite 100%, and Gabriel as well is just recently coming back from that shoulder injury.
Just about 20 minutes or so if you include some added time here for Lion City Sailors. Ball to the box. Oh, it doesn't quite fall for Kim Shin-wook. A bit messy at the back, but they tidy up in the end.
Yeah, I don't think Kim Shin-wook expected that mistake, that mistimed header. I don't expect the ball to fall into him. Bit naughty from Amirul.
Overall, Roshan, do you just feel that still they're pretty comfortable at the back, Albirex?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've had to defend a little bit deeper, but that's fine. That's the way the game has sort of developed.
Yeah. You knew there'd be some kind of
story of the game. You knew there'd be a reaction from Lion City Sailors. You knew they'd get their better players on, and you knew that they would need to step up the tempo, step up the intensity of their play. They've done that,
But again, they haven't really troubled Albirex offensively. How many clear-cut opportunities have they created? Can you remember in the second half?
Only one that comes to mind is that Harris Hurren one, right? That little stab.
And even then, there was not much on it.
When that's your best chance, you know it's not great at the moment. Forward by Sambongi. Michael Pasha brought down by Kobayashi, who's going to go into the book. That's Kan Kabinash Kobayashi. Well, we were talking about Gabriel Kwak. And it's going to be Ikram Rifki, which means Nur Adam will now move into left back.
Hafiz will go to right back.
Hafiz now right back, yep.
And Gabriel will just pop in front of him.
That continues our trend of seeing wide attacking players now playing at full-back position. That we saw from last week.
And a change here, Mahiro Takahashi coming on. Albirex making full use of the bench to try and make sure they can keep up the intensity of their play.
Absolutely. 4 changes apiece, I make it. And that's sails over. Roshan, there's still a distinct lack of quality, isn't it, in that final third?
It comes down to that, doesn't it? It comes down to that. For everything that we've spoken about, tactics, this, that, and the other. When you approach the danger zones, when you approach the final third, if you don't have the quality in there, I mean, with the
amazing we're saying that about
quality of the cross like that. Yeah, I mean, they worked the space well. It was a 1-2, neat 1-2 between Hafiz and Gabriel. But then the final ball, disappointing.
Yeah, they are struggling at the moment to get any kind of rhythm, it would appear. Here's Diego Lopez, here's Harris. Across to Amirul Adli. Now that Hafiz Noor in this right back row, Gabriel Kwak first contribution from him, maybe a quality cross. Oh, how close was that? The chance, but it was so wide in the end.
Well, I think there was good defending. It's gone up for a corner. So it was great defending. They finally found the quality and the pace. Gabriel picks out the right ball here. Picks up the right ball. He drives into the space, gets his head up, lifts it up, says Kim Shin-ok there, and such an important foot in from Jun Kobayashi. Just an outstretched leg of Jun Kobayashi. He was caught out by Shin-ok's movement position.
But finally a quality ball into the box.
He used every inch of that 1.91 meter frame, Jun Kobayashi. Make sure you got a leg in there.
Yeah, great defending. That has been by far their best chance, but also good contribution from Gabriel. Taking that corner quickly. That just gets away from Diego Lopez. It will be a corner though. 3 corners in a row for Lion City Sailors. They are rising out of their slumber at last, it would appear.
I wonder if it'd be worth converting Hafiz Noor into a right back permanently now at this stage of his career. Come back to that.
I wonder how he feels about that.
Hypothesis at some point.
Oh, that kind of hits Amirul than anything else.
No, he wasn't prepared. Again, he wasn't prepared to finish it off. I don't think he was expecting the ball to make its way all the way through him, into him, sorry. And so he wasn't ready. So you look at that. See, he's in there because of space, but he's not ready. He's not ready to. He thinks it's gonna. Someone else is gonna get ahead on it.
Are we going to get a late goal here? Remember, we had a late goal in the AIA Community Shield, and that instance, it was the winner from Kim Shin-ok right at the end. Beautiful acrobatic scissor kick We had a late goal when these two sides faced off at Jalan Besar Stadium towards the end of last season. A late goal from Albirex in that one. So the last few meetings, we have seen some late strikes. Now Diego Lopez has been a busy player today. Amiru to Harris. Harris launches. Easily dealt with again. Omori. Now Kobayashi. It's a lovely turn, by the way. Earlier on. Here's the new man in, Kawanishi. Oh, that's just stolen off Harris. And they get it away, he does. That was a nervy moment at the back, wasn't it? For Lion City Sailors.
Almost got caught out there, Harris. Skumpe Kakuta. He's trying to take it off his toes. Not quite set himself up for the shot though.
Diego Lopez. He's expecting Hafiz to run onto that. He's done well here. Hafiz Noor. To Gabriel Quack. Here's Gabriel now. Slides that into Maxime Lestienne. And that's pretty well dealt with. Back with Lopez. Trying to throw everything at this now, Lion City Sailors. Harris. Everyone inside this Albirex half. Noor Adam just dropping his shoulder. Ball into the box, and away by Omori. Just recycling the ball, it's coming straight back at them. Shadan, flag has stayed down. Maxime Lestienne. Away by Kobayashi, looking for Kodai Tanaka. Still relatively comfortable for them, Roshan.
Yeah. I mean, that opportunity from Kim Shinuka's side. They've had to defend very deep Albirex, but so far they're making sure that Lion City Sailors have to work really hard to create anything.
Sampongi with the header. Only falls to Haris Harun. Anywhere will do for the moment, just to relieve some of this pressure. Shadan Sulaiman to Diego Lopez, who finds Lestienne. Asking for the corner, and it will be a goal kick. Or rather, Gabriel Quack.
Yeah, an injection of pace from Gabriel Quack has caused a few issues for Albirex. Asked a couple of questions if needed to answer on that occasion. Not quite coming off. That's Gabriel, is that injection of pace and his willingness to run at defenders, trying to commit defenders, create spaces for his other teammates as well. That will be a free kick. I mean, Hafiz Noor just tugging on the back of Tanaka's jersey after losing the ball. Albirex will try and take as long as they possibly can in these situations.
Are they staring at yet another defeat? 2 in their opening 4 matches of the season. Across Kawanishi. with Lopez. Seen a lot of the ball today. Now Haris Harun. Haikal Pasha trying to make things difficult.
Well, again, that's good defending. And again, it's Sambongi. And he's done really well to read these runs off, to make sure he protects the space that's in behind him. Tatsuya Sambongi, and he's been strong enough there just to get his arm across and draw the foul. And Kim Do-hoon.
We got a sixth goal. Sorry, Russia, just
sorry,
to update. Yep, Mark Ryan Tan has compounded the misery here for Hougang. 6-1 it is at Al Tampines Hub. And they are well on their way to their first win of the season. Tampines Rovers, they have played less than pretty much everyone else apart from Young Lions. There's Diego Lopez.
You know, good for them, Tampines. You know that they're. I think it's safe to say now they will be picking up 3 points in that match. Good for them. You know, putting in another good performance and getting the goals to go along with that.
Well, I think that's their second win in 18 matches.
Well, that really gets that game against LCS fully out of the system. I think. You know,
they've exercised that ghost quickly. Haikal Pasha. Tanaka's not going to get there. 2.5 minutes or so, plus some added time here for Lion City Sailors. Prevent yet another defeat in what has been a stuttering start to the season. Chester down by Kim Shin-wook. Noor Adam. He will gladly take that one, wouldn't he, Koga?
An easy one for Koga. Gets good protection from his defenders as well. He just saw Omori actually standing in front of Kim Shin-wook just to make sure he couldn't make the run to try and challenge for that. Goalkeeper coming out to claim. He gets that protection from his back line as well.
Lestien's just come across to close to where we are sat on this left-hand side a bit now, almost playing up there with Kim Shin-wook in his last few minutes, perhaps. They want the ball into the mix, don't they? Diego Lopez gets a little touch on it. Here's Haikal Pasha. Back to Lopez. Now Gabriel Kwak. Ball towards Kim Shin-wook. He's gone down. And he's pointed to the spot. Well, 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 in the final minute. They're absolutely furious here, the Lion City Sailors players.
Just want to get confirmation on who he's booked there, whether it's Sambongi, because I thought his shirt was getting tugged, Kim Shin-wook, by Sambongi. I think it will be. We'll get confirmation on who picked up the yellow card, but I think it's Koga.
Yeah, it did look like it actually put it to the goalkeeper. It did, but
I thought the foul was committed by Sambongi, actually. Never mind.
Yeah, we're just waiting for confirmation of that. Interesting that Gabriel Kwak has stepped up here to take the penalty, not Kim Shin-wook, who scored in that last game from the spot. 3 minutes we're going to get. It's probably going to be more than that now, obviously. We have confirmation that the yellow card, by the way. Gabriel Kwak puts it in and races to get the ball out from the back of the net. 1-1, dramatic stuff here at Jurong East Stadium.
Yeah, that's a really good penalty. Really good penalty by Gabriel. He's nice and relaxed as he puts that in. Just rolls that into the back of the net. You can see the shape that he takes, which is why he sent Koga the way he's gone. Let's have a look at the shape that he takes here. It looks like he's actually going to put it to Koga's left before changing it right as he hits the ball. Puts a bit of disguise on the penalty.
Is there going to be a reaction here? Well, that's certain foul, isn't it? Hafiz Noor.
Omori's not happy as well.
Yeah, I can understand why. Now, we said there might be a late goal on this, as there was the last time. The last two times they played. This time it goes in Lion City Sailors' favour.
Yeah, I mean,
So
Omori, sorry. I was just going to say Omori's not happy with that at all.
I can confirm, by the way, you were correct. Sambongi has got the yellow card. It's not Koga.
Yeah, I thought so.
Right, now, there's still time for this drama, Roshan, because we're going to have more than 3 minutes for a start, so don't worry about that. We're going to have at least another minute beyond. Is there another goal in this? Straight at Hassan Sani, he's going to launch. They both want the 3 points here, which is great to see, of course. And boy, would that be something if we still get a winner here. Diego Lopez surging forward. Out wide to Hafiz Noor. Launches it into the area, and that's not a good cross, is it? Straight to Koga.
Hands on heads. You know, the quality of the crossing hasn't been good enough. And perhaps the final opportunity for the Lion City Sailors to try and pick up 3 points in this one. Although Albirex might have something to say about that.
Is there a chance here? Oh, how tight was that? No, foul. Kawanishi felt there might have been something. Oh, actually, I think he might have just collided there with Hassan.
He had to go for it.
Yeah.
He absolutely has to go for it. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely
and
right.
If anything, I think Noor Alam actually pushes him a little bit into Hassan Sani.
I was thinking whether there might be another penalty incident, but the referee has called time, and the Albirex players are on the ground here. That's how they feel. Have Lion City Sailors got out of jail for you, Roshan?
I think so. They've gotten away again with another one here. I mean, on the positive spin to this is that they'll say, oh, we went all the way and we got our reward from that. It was a penalty. And when I saw it, I thought Kim Shin-wook was having his jersey tugged by Sambongi. It is the correct decision. But I think based on the overall performance, I feel sorry for Albirex Niigata. I thought they deserved 3 points.
Feels like something you said last week as well for Tampines Rovers. But yes, thank you very much, Rish Roshan Rai. He'll be doing the post-match analysis with John Dykes in just a short while. The final score here, a dramatic finish to the game. We've had a goal at the end of either half. It's Albirex Niigata 1, Lion City Sailors 1.
All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being with us at the Untitled Chapter tonight. Don't forget more football to come our way. We've got tomorrow's match also at the Brooklyn Stadium. It is Tanjung Pagar FC versus Beyond FC, and the other match tomorrow over at the Tohaya Stadium is versus Kausa FC Beyond Young Lions. Corresponding match to ongoing our Tampines Hub between Tampines Rovers FC and Highland United FC. Currently the score is Tampines Rovers 7, Highland United 1. With that, ladies and gentlemen, take care, enjoy yourself, have a pleasant week ahead. See you for more football action right here at www.spl.sg for the AIA Singapore Premier League. Good night and take care.
Well, there we are then. Amazing scenes at the end of both halves in this night of drama here in Jurong East, Roshan. And we'll get into some highlights in just a moment. But this has been a fixture that has always had 1-1 written over it. But the way we got there in the end was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun, a lot of drama at the end, and I'm leaning forward because I can't really hear you because the Lion City Sailors fans are delighted with that point. And I think there's also a realization as well that they got away with it once more. They got away with it once more. But on the positive side, they'll be delighted with that, the way they were able to claw themselves back into this game.
Let's have a look at the highlights of the game, and it was a game that was a slow burner, it must be said. And the first half definitely belonged to Albirex Niigata. They had the better of the chances. Hassan Sunny was worked a couple of times in that first half. Yeah,
and look, he's been Lion City Sailors' best player this season, and that's saying a lot about the performances of this side, of the defending champions. We're seeing Fairoz Hassan here, snapshot early on, had another opportunity just before this as well that whizzed just past the far post. But Hassan had to be in good form for the Lion City Sailors.
And then there was this individual mistake by Tijali, who blotted his copybook. He was to go off actually at half-time, but Nicky Melvin Singh really probably should have done better.
He should have. I think he should have found the back of the net there, but he's a young striker, inexperienced, coming up against a very experienced and a great goalkeeper of great quality in Hassan Sunny. And look, again, Hassan easily for me has been Lion City Sailors man of the match. Here he is. He makes a good decision to back off, to set himself, compose himself, force the striker into making a decision there. Instead of rushing out, you see sometimes goalkeepers in those situations, less experienced goalkeepers, start to panic, perhaps rush out and make a bigger mess of that. What he does is he drops off, gives himself more of an opportunity to save it, and he does.
And here was the goal that gave them the lead on the stroke of half-time, and it's worth watching again. Daichi Omori sets himself, cuts across, a little flick there, a little deflection. You're right, Roshan.
Oh, you're finally admitting it. I'm not the only party poop. I mean, look, it's a great strike from Omori. You got to buy a ticket to win the lottery. It takes a bit of a deflection of Amirul here. I don't want to take anything away from it. Still wonderful finish, the way it bent in towards the far corner of the net. But yes, it does take a bit of deflection of Amirul. But it was a goal that Albirex deserved. They had a lot of control of that first half.
You might argue it takes a deflection to be Hassan Sunny. But could LCF score a goal? They threw on Lestienne at half-time. This was Haris Harun, who could never really get enough power on the shot. I think for about 20 minutes of that second half, it looked as if they might be frustrated. And then slowly they built up a head of steam, didn't they?
Yeah, and I mean, this was, again, not even going to call this a good chance, but it fell to Haris, and he did his best. He was off balance, try and get as much as he could behind that, not really troubling Koga. In fact, it was Albirex here with another opportunity from Fairoz. I think the first touch is not quite good enough from him in this situation, because instead of sort of carrying the momentum on of the pass, what it does is it kind of stops it a little bit, allows the defender to come across. Just have a look at that there, and it makes his body shape awkward to have a shot in the end.
So in the meantime, Lion City Sailors were ringing the changes. We had Noor Adam back in action. It's good to see him back, and he was as industrious and powerful as ever. Kim Shin-wook arrived on the scene. You can see him in the center of your screen then. And then, of course, he was to actually miss a chance that could have been bread and butter, but for a piece of defending that probably just put him off.
Yeah, I mean, the movement here was really good from Kim Shin-wook, using all his experience. Great work from Gabriel. He picks out the perfect pass. We spoke about the quality from the delivery. He's not good enough, but he was able to find Kim Shin-wook.
Now, this is the big moment here. There's some shirt tugging going on here, and he makes the most of it, goes down. What did you make of that?
When I saw it first time, I thought it's going to be a penalty, because there was a lot of shirt tugging going on there. I mean, Kim Shin-wook, again, uses all his experience. He knows that if he goes down in that situation, he's having his jersey tucked. Referee's in a great position and makes a good call, in my mind. Just have a look at it here. Gets in behind Sambongi, and there's a lot of jersey tugging going on. He goes down. Some might say it's soft, but it's still a foul.
And then Gabriel Kwak, great to see him back, great composure, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and rolls that one in, really. 1-1 it finishes, and you know, now that we've seen what's happened in that half, the fans, and they're still, you're right, making a lot of noise away to our side here, the Lion City Sailors fans. Did they dodge one, or were they good enough, do you think, to say, we're going to go away with a merited point here?
I don't think so. I don't think they were good enough. By their standards, I expect a lot better from them in terms of the overall performance. But look, at the end of the day, everyone will say football is just about getting the results. And they got the results, but they were able to rescue a point from something that was out of their control. You know, it was Kim Shin-wook going down because he felt his jersey tucked. decision was in the referee's hands. They got the penalty, and they got the reward with that late equalizer.
You might argue it was the pressure that they mounted. Let's have a look at the stats, because at half-time the stats were overwhelmingly in favour of Albirex Niigata. They had more shots, they had more shots on target, and come the end of the game, twice as many shots on target, 15. So I think Kazuaki Yoshinaga will be reflecting probably on a chance missed here.
I mean, absolutely. You mentioned, you know, the pressure they were putting Albirex under, but it wasn't really anything serious of note, nothing of real good quality in terms of the chance creation. Sure, there were shots, but nothing really troubled Koga until that penalty. So I think Albirex will feel hard done by, and I thought the performance warranted all 3 points.
Let's have a look at the league table. It's still early days yet for this lengthy Singapore Premier League season, but as it is, Albirex, by virtue of goal difference, find themselves up there on 7. Tanjong Pagar United still to play this weekend, so they can reclaim the top spot, of course. Lion City Sailors in 3rd right now. And we're going to tell you the story of an amazing night at our Tampines Hub for Tampines Rovers in just a moment, because they've clambered up into 4th position. Have a little look at their goal difference. 5, of course, and this was a team that couldn't find a goal last week, while they found 7 of them against hapless Hougang United. Excuse me. Boris Kvitovic with a hat-trick. Taufik Supano, who's been playing brilliantly in the last 2 games, with a couple. Mehmetovic with 1, Mark Ryan Tan. Brilliant from them.
Brilliant from them, and I'm happy for Tampines Rovers, because this would have gotten that Lion City Sailors game out of their system, absolutely punishing Hougang, and the performances have warranted all 3 points in that game.
Let's just remind you then, Tanjong Pagar United looking to get back to the top of the table. They take on Geylang International. What a game that promises to be. And we have Balestier Khalsa up against Young Lions at the Toa Payoh Stadium, rounding things off on match week 4, which has brought a quality draw, it must be said. That second half in particular was highly entertaining here at Jurong East, and then of course that goal fest over in the east at our Tampines Hub. Well, what else lies in store this weekend? Quick winners from those 2 remaining games. Who do you fancy for the Tanjong Pagar game?
Well, I think Tanjong Pagar probably got, well, that's going to be an interesting one. You know, I think they come up against a tough side in Geylang as well. But I think Tanjong Pagar, perhaps with the momentum that they've got, the confidence, perhaps they'll sneak a win in that game.
Young Lions, of course, started this season late, therefore a little bit underdone as they come up against Balestier.
I expect Balestier to win there, and I think they need to put themselves under that pressure, Balestier, to say that we need to win this, because we're playing against a side of students, essentially, national servicemen. You're a professional team. You need to pick up 3 points against the Young Lions.
All right, Roshan, thank you very much. So a night of late drama at the end of both halves has ended up with honours even, points shared here at Jurong East. Thanks for being with us. Enjoy the rest of the weekend in the AIA Singapore Premier League.